In 2017, Kevin Durant changed the landscape of the NBA forever by leaving his team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and joining the 73-9 Golden State Warriors, only to win 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs along the way. But what if, instead of leaving his team, he stuck around, thugged it out with Russell Westbrook, and decided to stick around in OKC and create a potential dynasty that we saw? Well, that's what we're going to take a look at in this video and see what kind of landscape the NBA became if this did indeed happen, and see whose legacies were tarnished, made, or destroyed along the way. So, co-starring Westbrook, we're going to take a look at what if KD 35 never left OKC. So we've now found ourselves in the 2019 offseason, preparing for the 2019 draft, where Zion Williamson and Ja Morant are the 2 athletes at the cream of the crop of this particular draft. And before I forget, do not forget to check out part 1 of this video if you have not already seen it, where we cover the first 3 years of Kevin Durant sticking around in OKC. But as we continue, you can see that the Timberwolves have in fact won the draft lottery, followed by the Suns, and you can bet that respectively Zion Williamson and Ja Morant should be going 1 and 2 in that order, or perhaps reverse. We'll soon see. But lots of changes going on. This is the actual off season where the Raptors had just won the championship in reality. But in the simulation, no, there's no championship for my hometown Toronto Raptors. We have the Golden State Warriors coming off back-to-back championships in this particular simulation, just beating out the Bulls. And with the first pick, you can see that the Timberwolves have in fact taken Zion Williamson, going out to Minnesota to partner up with a Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, newly acquired by the Timberwolves. Ja Morant goes to the Hornets. Barrett goes to the Nuggets, teaming up with Jason Tatum, killer wing tandem. Pascal to the Suns. This wasn't a particularly super impressive draft overall, but I mean, Zion and Ja going 1 and 2 to the Timberwolves and to the Hornets, quite a big deal and a big change from the reality of matter of where they went in reality. But as we continue to see how the rest of this draft rounded out, the Bulls getting the services of Bol Bol. The Bulls were in the finals in this simulation the previous season, losing to the Golden State Warriors, and they actually made a big play in this offseason, acquiring the rights of none other than Kawhi Leonard, who actually led the way of a free agent class led by all the players whose names started with a K, as he had Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Kemba Walker, Chris Middleton, all free agents in this offseason, looking for new homes or to sign contracts in their existing homes. As we see the power rankings, Wizards on top of the power rankings, weird. But Jimmy Butler, look at this, signs a deal with Milwaukee, trying to bring them a championship off of to Chicago. We see, as mentioned, Kawhi Leonard joining the Chicago Bulls, who were in the finals the previous year with a 60-plus win season. Dame Lillard making a surprise move and finding his way over to Los Angeles, as they also get Anthony Davis and Blake Griffin. Golden State, same team as the previous, you know how they're stacked. Kyrie and Kevin Durant actually signing with New Jersey or Brooklyn, as they did in reality. Westbrook there with Indiana. As we see some other teams here. But yes, the biggest free agent moves, as mentioned, you see would be the Kawhi Leonard heading over to Chicago. Philly looking decent there with Embiid, Simmons, and Donovan Mitchell. Very serviceable team there. Derrick Rose finds his way over to Boston. Dallas Mavericks with their number 1 pick, or number 2 pick, Markelle Fultz there, Clippers, now they have DeMar DeRozan on the team. They are unable to afford Kawhi Leonard, hence why he went over to Chicago. instead of the Clippers in this scenario here. Oklahoma City Thunder, they are looking pretty depleted now. No, still got Chris Paul there. Now, the Houston Rockets at this point, I believe Harden was looking to be traded. If he wasn't traded this season, he was traded at the beginning of the next season. But in this particular simulation, he is looking to find his way out of Houston as they're not playing particularly well. They're up to par with his liking. As we move on, rounding out the rest of the power rankings here. But yeah, lots of changes going on here. You see that Lakers team pretty stacked up, acquiring Blake Griffin as well as Dame Lillard to play along with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That is going to be quite a formidable combination of stars there, and see if they can align better than what we've been seeing this reality season with the multitude of stars that they have just not performing up to par. But see the Raptors here, you know, they didn't win the championship in this simulation. They lost Kawhi, they lost Van Fleet. It looks like they lost a lot of people, not looking too great. Looking to be in that rebuild mode, obviously. And the Spurs, obviously, in that rebuild mode, also sitting 28th in the power rankings. That is going to round out the power rankings for the 2019 season. As we move along here to the midway point, we're going to take a look at the rankings, and we do see the Los Angeles Lakers, as expected, on top of the Western Conference, doing damage. LeBron having an MVP caliber season. Golden State 5 games back with that same championship team from the previous 2 seasons with Clay, Steph, Carmelo, and their super bench. Denver coming into play here around, looking better each year. Pelicans, all those guys that Lakers had to trade to get Anthony Davis, making difference for them, staying in the playoff hunt. Utah Jazz, very well coached team, as always, still in the playoff picture here, and the Dallas Mavericks with a very young Luka Doncic and company looking to get that 8th spot. As we take a look at the Eastern Conference here. And by the way, Houston, James Harden has demanded a trade, as Houston is just looking terrible this season. And we'll see in a second where he winds up heading off to. We'll take a look over at the Eastern Conference here. See Milwaukee Bucks top of the conference there with the combination of Jimmy Butler, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brogdon, and Chris Middleton, and then Chicago Bulls. I'm telling you, that is a powerhouse of a team right there, that lineup. Cleveland Cavaliers making a very surprise run here this season. Not expecting anybody to think they're going to be that good. Brooklyn has now made that trade, and they do have James Harden. After traded a bunch of draft picks and a couple other players for him, but that could be what is required to get them over the hump and into the finals. And everyone wants to see a KD LeBron final at some point here again, like we had in 2012, and maybe we get that in the simulation. It could be an indication of things to come here. But as we progress here, taking a look at the races, Russell Westbrook, holy smokes. This guy's putting almost a triple-double, 40 points per game on an average. That is absolutely insane, as he has been a beast for the Pacers. He's getting traded forcefully from Oklahoma City, courtesy of Kevin Durant, who wind up leaving anyways. But Steph Curry, another MVP caliber season for him. Kobe White leading the way for the Rookie of the Year race, with Zion right behind, and John Morant in there also. Julius Randle, 6th Man of the Year. Mike Conley again, and Defensive Player of the Year candidates, Ben Simmons, Giannis Antetokounmpo. As we move forward here, I think we're just going to move on to the end of the regular season. And we're going to see Let's see how this season rounds out and finishes off here. And as we can see, the Chicago Bulls have taken the top spot in the Eastern Conference with another 60-plus win season after acquiring Kawhi Leonard. As you can see, James Harden found his way over to Brooklyn and helping them get that fourth spot. But Westbrook and the Pacers in that playoff position once again, second year in a row. And the Raptors not anywhere near where they should have been or were in reality here. As we take a look at the Western Conference, Markelle Fultz and the Mavericks, along with Luka Doncic, getting into the playoffs here. Debut for them, or for he, shall I say. Assuming they get it, looks like they're in that playoff spot anyways. And the Lakers at the top of the conference there with that huge super lineup of Dame Lillard, Cole, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Westbrook getting the MVP once again. I think we're going to make a change to that because they're not even in the playoff spot, so I can't be giving them an MVP in the playoff spot. MVP is going to Giannis. Giannis is the MVP for this season. So let's just make a little switcheroo to that here. Yeah. And don't forget, this was Giannis' real MVP season in real life too, so we'll just put Giannis in there as the MVP. They had the second seed anyways, so because I think they're going to be giving Westbrook that MVP a lot because the guy keeps averaging those triple doubles. But as you can see, we got the All-NBA first team, and Domantas Sabonis on the Oklahoma City Thunder on the first team, putting up 25, 10, and 5 for the steal a game. Wow. What a surprise. Some silver lining in the departure of Kevin Durant clearly is he's making a huge difference for them. But let's take a look at the second, third team and defensive teams. Durant obviously on there, Giannis on the defensive and All-NBA teams. And Kobe White, the Rookie of the Year, beating out Zion Williamson. Who would have seen that coming? I know I sure as hell didn't see that coming. And beating out John Moran, that is crazy. As we break down the brackets now for the 2020 NBA playoffs. Now, in all reality, this was the season that Corona and COVID hit the world, and the season was broken down and then resumed in the bubble and the play-in tournaments starting. So let's just assume all that didn't happen, and this is a perfect world, and we're just playing regular basketball like it always was, and play the playoffs like how they should have been. Bulls taking that top spot in the Eastern Conference, and that team is serious. Very dangerous team in Chicago there. 60 wins before the arrival of Kawhi, but let's simulate through the first round here and see. Whoa! The Golden State Warriors have been upset by the young upstart Minnesota Timberwolves, taking them out in 6 games. Wow! Zion in his playoff debut in his rookie season, making an impact here for Minnesota and knocking out the two-time defending champions. My goodness, who would have saw that coming? As we see some of the stats from some of those games, Karl Anthony Towns doing damage there. Zion putting in some work clearly. D'Angelo Russell is no slouch at all. And the Golden State Warriors done it. 6 games. That's the end of their streak. They get 2 excuse me. They get 2 championships in a row, a year delayed, as Oklahoma City in the simulation had won the 2017 championship. But let's move on with this playoff series here, this playoff bracket. Lakers have swept the Rockets, going to face New Orleans in the second round. Brooklyn, that's going to be quite the series against Chicago. And Milwaukee trying to knock out this surprising Cleveland team. finding themselves into the second round. And as we proceed here, we have an all-LA Western Conference Finals as we're going to see Paul George and DeMar DeRozan of the Clippers taking on LeBron and company in LA. And over in the East, we got this Cleveland team that just keeps on rolling. I don't know where they're coming from or how they're doing this. The resurgence of Kevin Love has got to have something to do with it, facing this very heavily loaded Brooklyn team who sweeps Cleveland and finds themselves in the NBA Finals to face LeBron. And we do indeed get that Kevin Durant, LeBron James final that we have been oh so craving for oh so long, and simulate through some of these games here and take a look at some of the stats. Lillard putting on a show here for LA, LeBron near triple-double, Durant doing his usual, and Kyrie putting in 37 and 9. I don't know, this is what we were expecting to see, I'm sure, in reality, but Brooklyn and obviously falling to Milwaukee and not getting into the finals. But in this simulation, they got their whole team there, and they got KD ready to rock and roll. And we got them in the finals here, taking care of business and handily getting rid of the Lakers here in the first two games. So let's go ahead and simulate the next one, and it's looking like it's going to be a clean sweep here, folks. Durant dropping 33, 6-9, and 3 steals. LeBron James, doing everything he can to try and keep his team afloat, but it's looking like yet another finals loss on the horizon for Mr. James and company. And let's see what's going on.
No doubt, it felt like they were a little tight for much of the evening. Now they're in a better flow, but it may be too little too late.
Brooklyn, 77. The Lakers.
All the travel, all the practices, all the emotion, the exhaustion culminating into tonight.
And whenever you win the NBA championship, there is a level of accomplishment and excitement that really can't be matched. But pretty amazing to have accomplished this goal.
The celebration is here, and this place is going crazy. The bench loves it. The fans obviously overjoyed. This is one of those moments these players will never forget. Let's go to the floor. Here is Adam.
So the New Jersey. So the Brooklyn Nets have indeed done what they had set out to do and have captured the 2020 NBA championship after acquiring the services of James Harden from Houston and taking out the Los Angeles Lakers quite handily in 4 straight games to secure the NBA championship. Whereas in reality, this was the year that the Lakers did in fact win the championship, but with Brooklyn having KD's services, not breaking his leg, not having played in Golden State the previous year, able to bring home the championship. Now we are moving on to the 2020 NBA draft now, where the top prospects are LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, and we can see that oh my goodness, I can't even talk today. As you can see that the New York Knicks have won the draft lottery, followed by the Raptors, Suns, Spurs, and Kings. Suns again, another pick, Heat, Hawks, Magic, and the Trailblazers. And let's see who takes who in this simulation, as this is quite clearly a different turn of events from the reality of the draft from this particular year. So we can see that the New York Knicks are now on the clock and have chosen LaMelo Ball from Lithuania / Australia / Chino Hills, courtesy of Mr. LeVar Ball and number 1-2 New York, and that's going to be a primetime highlight at the box office right there. The Toronto Raptors get Anthony Edwards with the second pick. No one could ever complain about that. If we got him, me being a Raptors fan, that would be amazing. James Wiseman going number 3 to the Phoenix Suns. What else we got going on here? Mind you, I'm just letting this go. I'm not choosing these at all. This is just computer running it. So Tyrese Halliburton going to the Spurs. LiAngelo Ball. I didn't even know this guy was in the draft. But hey, LiAngelo Ball gets the number 5 pick going to the Sacramento Kings. That's funny. I did not know he was even in this thing. But all the same, the Suns on the draft board again, selecting Patrick Williams this time. Tyrese Maxey going to the Heat, and simulate through this to the end. And as you can see, LaMelo, 80 overall, drafted number 1 by the New York Knicks, followed by Anthony Edwards and James Wiseman, the same top 3 picks as was in reality, going just slightly different order and to slightly different teams. But you can see as the rest of the draft class rounds out here, nothing of major interest aside from the top of the draft there, as we proceed on to the 2021 NBA season, where we can see the power rankings again. Kawhi Leonard and the Bulls and the Bucks, they're all up there at the top. We still got the Lakers, the top team in the West of the power rankings. Dangerous squad, followed closely by the Golden State Warriors, who have acquired Clint Capella. Still got Mike Conley off the bench. What a dangerous squad. Russell Westbrook and the Pacers looking to actually get into the playoffs and do some damage this time. Sixers still looking good, but not nearly as good as people are saying that they should have been. Jamal Murray now over in Memphis, filling that point guard role. And the Nets, a dangerous team, current champions. Dejounte Murray and the Cleveland Cavs. Raptors have signed DeMarcus Cousins, thinking that'll make a difference, apparently. D'Angelo Russell. Celtics. As you can see, the Clippers, they're probably wishing that they did have Kawhi right about now, but DeMar DeRozan's going to have to do. Trae Young's still on the Hawks in this. And the Oklahoma City Thunder have signed Kemba Walker, as clearly Chris Paul has departed. I want to see what team he wound up going to. Lowry has found his way to the Miami Heat after leaving the Raptors. De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, that's a nasty backcourt for the Suns actually going forward. As Jamal Murray clearly gone from the Nuggets, but that's a very good front court they got there. Chris Paul has gone to the Spurs, that's right, okay. Rockets they still got little Isaiah Thomas there as their point guard, huh? Okay. I guess he never had the hip injury in this simulation or in this world. Devin Harris is still playing. What the fuck? Drew Holiday, Pistons, Jevon. I don't even know who half these players are on this team. Dwight Howard they got in the Pistons. I see that. John Morant, Kyle Kuzma duo for the Hornets. Kings and Knicks looking very dismal, aside from LaMelo Ball on the Knicks. LaMelo Ball and Tyler Hero. That is a pretty crazy backcourt for the long ball. If you're a Knicks fan in this one. So, anyways, those are the power rankings. Those are the rosters going into the 2020-2021 season. This is the year that, in reality, the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA championship. And let's see if they can win it in our simulation here. Also, as we see the draft class, top picks, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, Scotty Barnes. Hopefully he gets the Rookie of the Year this year, playing wicked for Toronto, but we'll see what happens with him in this thing. So as we proceed here, we see the All-Star teams with Team LeBron. LeBron, another captain of the All-Star team. Kawhi, John Wall, Kemba Walker, Nikola Jokic. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the stats and award races. Philly, you don't need to trust the process any longer. They are in top of the Eastern Conference, and how could you expect anything less? I mean, they got a developing Donovan Mitchell alongside with Ben Simmons. That is a very, very, very talented backcourt. Bulls not far behind them. The Nets, 5 games back of the top spot, but we know how dangerous they can be. I mean, you got Kyrie and James Harden there on either side of Kevin Durant. So, I mean, that is such a nasty trio, to be quite honest with you. Quite a nasty trio. As we switch over to the Western Conference, Golden State on top of the West once again with a 41-11 record at the halfway point. Lakers 7 games back, but right in the thick of things. You take a look at the rest of the Western Conference going into the end of the season here. Check out the award races and see who's on pace for what. As once again, Russell Westbrook is ahead of the MVP race. Ben Simmons not too far behind him. Look at this. You know, this guy was making a name for himself here. Not a bad one like he is in reality these days. LaMelo Ball, top of that rookie leader race. Randall, 6th man, and we see Defensive Player of the Year candidates. Moving on into the end of the regular season. Simulate through this. Okay. And as we get to the end of the regular season, Durant and Brooklyn in fine shape, sitting in 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Durant putting up his usual 27 a game, but hey, Westbrook gets his 3rd MVP. 3rd MVP in this simulation with another triple-double season. Or just shy of, but no, he got it. Oh, he definitely got it. Rookie of the Year goes to LaMelo Ball. And everyone else is right in position where they were projected to get. Andre Drummond with that Defensive Player of the Year. Here we see the All-NBA first team with Russell Westbrook, Kemba Walker, LeBron James and company. 2nd team. 3rd team, DeMarcus Cousins, Ingram, Marvin Bagley on the All-NBA. Whoa! That is a major difference here. As you see the first team All-Defense and the rookie teams. And into the 2021 NBA playoffs. Whereas I said this was the year. Well, the Bucks won it last year, and they got the 5th seed in this, but they still got the services of Jimmy Butler. Lots of new faces and lots of new places, as I said, but not too many things are too far off from reality here. As Lakers are still looking to get up in that back to the finals. Golden State looking to get back to the finals here. Brooklyn trying to repeat. They got a tough road ahead of them, face to face with Russell in the first round here. So we take a look at the matchups between the Sixers and the Celtics, the number 1 and 8 seeds. Wizards always on top of those power rankings at the top of the seasons, I've noticed, but they're not getting where they're projected to. So let's simulate through the first few rounds here. We see the Lakers sweep in 5 games, get past the Blazers. And the Golden State Warriors again in the first round are knocked out, this time by Oklahoma City Thunder. Wow. And Minnesota has advanced once again in that 3rd spot. Whoa, interesting turn of events. Very interesting. I was expected to see Golden State back here again, but no. We got a Minnesota Lakers Western Conference Final and a Brooklyn Washington Eastern Conference Finals, just as I was talking smack about Washington. I don't think they got what it takes to get past this stacked Brooklyn team. So we will continue simulating here, and we got a rematch, folks. We got a rematch of the previous year's finals, where the Lakers did get swept. So they have a chance and a shot at redemption, and looking like a rivalry for LeBron against KD. But they only get 1 win. They just get the 1 win against them, and the Nets have won the NBA championship for the 2nd straight year. And for the 2nd straight year, Kevin Durant has won the Finals MVP, which in this simulation is his 2nd Finals MVP. LeBron in the simulation, you lost 2 finals, bud. Steph, you got an extra MVP, and you won 2 championships, all the same, just like reality. So very interesting turn of events. It did happen. Kevin Durant in this simulation finds himself with 2 Finals MVPs, just the same, but finds himself with 3 championships. So very, very interesting stuff. I appreciate all of you for watching and sticking around and going through this journey with me. So please do not forget to like and subscribe, and I'm going to keep trying to bring these out for y'all. So stay up, stay well, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.